Good evening, everyone. My name is Lasya, and I'm a student ambassador for Alumni Relations at SRM University-AP. I would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone for making up time to attend this session. It's a great pleasure to me to introduce an exceptional individual who has continuously demonstrated his passion and innovation and excellence. With his remarkable achievements and dedication, he stands as an embodiment of what it means to be a true leader in the world of technology. Now, I would like to invite our alumnus, Mohinish, a member of illustrious batch of 2022, pursued his BTech in computer science and engineering, has already made impressive strides in his professional journey. Currently, he serves as a graduate analyst at Barclays, where his expertise and commitment have earned him recognition among his peers. His role involves deep diving into complex financial analysis while exploring cutting-edge solutions to drive the industry forward. His thirst for knowledge have led him to actively engage in various technological pursuits. He has an inherent passion for web development and blockchain technology and also became an esteemed member of SRMAP Blockchain Club, where he actively contributed to the exploration and application of blockchain tech solutions. So his passion for development and problem solving has guided him to numerous victories, making him a sort of speaker and mentor in the field of hackathons. In addition to his technical prowess, Mohinish was also an active member of Nextech Lab, where he collaborated with like-minded individuals to foster the culture of innovation and creativity. He thrives in diverse and challenging environments, constantly seeking opportunities to expand his skill set and broaden his horizons. Now, it is clearly evident that Mohinish is not just an exemplary student and a professional, but also a beacon of inspiration for all the aspiring innovators. His commitment, knowledge, and achievements serve as a testament to see what can be accomplished through sheer determination and passion for one's craft. Now, let me invite Shailaja ma'am from Alumni Relations to address you all.
Yeah, hi. A very good evening to everyone. As I have already given a brief introduction, so it's very good to hear about Mohinish, about you, and thanks for you to sparing your valuable time and sharing your insights with our students. So I think they are eagerly waiting a most and warm welcome. So we would wait to hear from you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity and thank you for the introduction last year. So welcome everyone. So I'm Mohinish and I'm currently working as a graduate analyst at Barclays. So I work in the domain of treasury, where I am a data engineer by role, and I work on big data and Hadoop. So let me share my screen. So today I'd like to talk about some tips to succeed in a hackathon. So our agenda includes like what's a hackathon and why you should participate in one, and some resources I can share with you where you can explore more about hackathon. So I'm Mohinish and I work as a graduate analyst. So back in 2020, during the times of COVID, I really started to work on open source project and developed a lot more on blockchain technology. And I have interned at Celo. It's a blockchain company based out of Europe, and it is one of the top 20 market leaders in the blockchain tech. And I got this internship through one of the hackathons I participated through from the company of Dev4U. And apart from that, I have also been an active hacker and participated in 50 plus hackathons and won 10 plus, both nationally and internationally. So let us start with what is a hackathon. So it's a social event where various coders, programmers, and entrepreneurs come together to improve a solution for a given problem. And there is a common myth in the space where hackathon is mostly like taking over the computers or else hacking something, but it truly is not. So it can be a simple website or else any solution that you can come up in a given time. So the hackathons, they mainly are conducted in weekends. So typically for 24 to 48 hours, and you can work on your project. So mostly the theme will be open theme, like you can come up with your own problem and a solution for it and present it to judges. So this is what an hackathon basically is. So if we look at the past, there are many successes from hackathons. So some of them I like to highlight is Facebook Live. It has been a part from Facebook since inception, but during the hackathon, the Facebook Live has been upgraded, and now it has been very phenomenal success. And even the app Instagram, it is one of a hackathon project, and also the Giphy where we share the GIFs. So this is also one of the hackathon projects. So a hackathon ideas can be successful and can be a great product one day, and they foster innovation and collaboration among all the participants. So the question is, why should you participate in a hackathon? So hackathon provides an hands-on learning experience. So there will be many participants apart from you. So there can be hundreds of members or even tens of participants. And I would like to highlight share a personal story where I participated in a hackathon in my second year of BTech. So at that time, I barely know any technical skill to start with, but I still went ahead and started my hackathon at our very own college. Like I participated in Hack SRM in the first edition, and there I have built a chatbot using IBM's cloud. So it did not involve much of a coding really, but it did include a basic understanding of the IBM cloud and its framework. So I went ahead and built a chatbot where you can diagnose primarily with your symptoms, and it tells you what your disease can be. So that uh, so it lasted for around 24 hours, and we were a team of 3 persons, and each of us had expertise in different skills. I was more into the IBM cloud, and my teammates were more into web development and stuff. So we three collaborated, and we have come up with the end product. And so this kind of so I want to highlight that you does not need a complete a good knowledge of computer or technical skills to start with, but all you need is a passion and one good idea and a solution to solve the problem. So not only this, so you can interact and expand your network with fellow hackers and mentors. So whenever you go to hackathon, there can be people from all around the country or even the world. So you get to meet all those people, and you get to meet many sponsors, many industry experts, and there will be numerous talks, and there will be numerous sessions on different technologies as well. And some hackathons, there can be about hiring as well for internships and all, and you can also connect with them later on and follow up if you need any internships or else even open position. So it definitely enhances your resume and portfolio. So you can highlight or else you can showcase your expertise during your interviews. Like you can demonstrate the number of hackathons you have participated and what you have built over there. So it can be a good conversation between you and your interviewer during an interview. So this definitely does help. So because I have interviewed for many positions, and more like almost all the time I talk about hackathons half of the time in my interview, and even interviews were they will be curious to know what you build, and you can gain exposure on latest technology. So for example, I just know the basic web development stuff, and during hackathons I got to know about the blockchain technology, and I got more and more interested in it. So not just blockchain, these days we have many technologies like AI, ML, blockchain, and cloud computing, cybersecurity, and all. So you can go into hackathon and explore everything, get to touch everything, and you can definitely choose your own domain. And I can't stress on how how important or else how good it helps you to build a teamwork and that culture. So whenever you are participating in a hackathon, you need to plan accordingly to and divide your work between you and your team members. So that really does increase your skills of working as a team and also being a key player. So now let me share some few tips on how to succeed in a hackathon. So first of all, I would like to say that succeeding is not just the only thing in a hackathon, but also I would definitely say that participating itself is a huge win for you, because it definitely gives you a more insight and it brings more knowledge compared to the previous day. So you'll get to meet a lot of like-minded people, as I said. And I'd like to share one of my experience at a hackathon. So it was an online hackathon conducted by UC Berkeley. So there I got to meet mentors from IPFS. So IPFS, it's a protocol just like torrent, so where you can share images, videos, and all. And it is a decentralized network, and no one can take down, or else it's a foolproof system. So at one hackathon, I got to meet mentors directly, like the core development team from the IPFS, and I got to know more about that technology and all. And later on, I applied that technology in the next hackathon. So there, I have used the IPFS to build a decentralized media sharing system using blockchain technology. So it's like a decentralized version of Instagram. So we did win a prize for that, and it was really a great achievement for our team. And so the thing is you may not experience the wins in the very early stage, but once if you keep on putting the efforts or else if you be consistent like participating in hackathons regularly, once in every 2 weeks or all, so you will definitely get more used to it, and you'll know what to build, how to build, and how to present. So in order to succeed, so I can share you a few tips. Like first of all, you should have a good team. So everyone should be expertise, or else good at one skill that the other person is in. So if everyone has the same skill, then it is not gonna help you with the other tasks. Like some can be a technical person, and one can be a non a more of a presentation person. So because no matter how good your product is, if you can't present it properly, so there's no point in building the whole thing. So I have faced this similar issue in my early stages. So even though we built a good project, so we weren't able to make a good video out of it, or else make a good presentation, so that judges don't really understand what you have built. And that gap we have, uh, it is not a good thing at the end of the day. Even if you have built a good project with your own, with a lot of hard work, but presenting it badly can make the things worse. So I would like to highlight, so form a team with different complementary skills. So one can be a web development, like have expertise in web development, and one can have a expertise in backend, and one can have expertise in presenting, or else making a documentation of the project what you have made. And one can be a testing person, or else getting feedback from other people and how to improvise it as and then. So that is one a pre-check you can do before entering a hackathon itself. And once you have entered the hackathon, so thoroughly understand the problem statement or else the challenge provided. So even so, mostly the hackathons will be open-ended thing, which means you can get to choose your own problem and create a own solution for it. Create a solution for it. So you aren't restricted most of the times. If there is a theme for the hackathon, so you better understand the statement correctly. So if you even if you take time, so understand the problem statement and see what's the uh, bottlenecks in that current solution, and try to find a new solution or else an optimal solution, not just a new but an optimal solution. So the key thing is once we get the problem statement and the main disadvantages with the current systems for it, so then we can think about a new system and new solutions for the same. And the solutions should be, if the solutions are optimal, then you will have a great chance of winning. And after you have figured out your team and what the problem is, so it's always better to make a plan and divide tasks between the members. Like so typically the hackathons last for only 24 to 48 hours, right? So the time management is really important. So within 24 hours you can divide it into 3 quarters or else 3 halves and all. And you need to set a goal for every 6 hours or so. And because this greatly keeps you on track, and it doesn't make any last minute rushes or else worry about the presenting or else documenting at the end. So if we do it from the beginning, if we manage the time from the beginning and properly divide tasks among team members, so you will definitely be on track to finish your project in time by the end, by deadline. And the next thing is create a user-centric design. So making a solution itself is a good thing, but presenting it, as I've told earlier, is the thing you need to take care of. So it doesn't make a sense if you make a website with a bad UI, but it is functional. So a person who has a good front end but not as functional as your website can get more marks or else more points at the judging phase, because the judges don't really get time to see the whole architecture or else the whole solution of your project. So they may give you only few minutes to look at your project. So in that short span of time, you need to highlight your project. So for that you need a good user interface. So I'd like to stress more about this. And further, so there will be two types of hackathons. One is at on-site, hackathons happening at college or else any company, and another one is virtual hackathons. So there will be numerous virtual hackathons happening at every single day, and for every weekend there will be tens of hackathons happening somewhere in the world. So you can participate in these virtual hackathons by registering yourself with a free of cost. And so the way you will be judged at these virtual hackathons is you need to make a video presentation of your project. So the hackathons kind of make you a video editor as well. So within the video should be less than 5 minutes or even 2 minutes, based on the number of participants and projects at that hackathon. So you need to have a good script writing skills or else a video editing skills for that as well. So even if you don't have, do not worry, it is not a complex process. So as you go, you will get used to it. So making a good video is definitely placed with also making a good project. So presentation is the most important thing at a hackathon. So as I told earlier, clearly communicate the problem solution as well whenever you're presenting it, or else to the judges, or else in your video, right? So do make sure you show for all the technical stuff, but also the statistics of your solution. Let's say if your solution, it is going to reduce 30% of processing time than existing solution. Do make sure you highlight it properly in your presentation with good infographics or else bar charts and all. So because numbers do catch the attention of the judges, so it is good to have to showcase the statistics of your solution. And finally, embrace the learning experience. So the hackathons, it's not as I told, all about winning, but more about a learning experience. So I have learned very deeply about blockchain through the hackathons and web development, video editing skills, and I've even worked on AML projects at some hackathons. And I got to meet a lot of new people from all around the world. So I'll tell you this example. So I have participated in one hackathon of I guess Hackmaker. So the organization is Hackmaker, and I got to meet this person from his name is John, and he's from University of South Florida. So he was on the other side of the world, but we made a project together for the hackathon. So he was working. He helped me with the Django to integrate the AML part for my project, and I worked on a blockchain part. So it was a 3 days event, and we collaborated throughout the 3 days through virtually, and we have built a waste management system. So it identifies the waste through through deep learning algorithm. So he took care of how to do that stuff, integrate the deep learning model to our website using Django. And on the other hand, I have uh, taken care of reward distribution using blockchain. So once that waste is identified, you will get rewards in the form of tokens, crypto tokens. So I have taken care of that part, and we have integrated these both technologies as one project, and we won that hackathon. And the thing is, we are still connected, and will often participate once in a while together in some hackathon. So so I can tell, you will get to meet a lot of people from different parts, and not just him. I have met many other people, and even the judges. So I still it's always good to connect with all those people and maintain that connection and all. And once you accomplish all these different things, this can be a good conversation between you and your interviewer. So I have my interviews have been mostly about my hackathons, because I have listed many in my resume, and interviewers were curious to know about my hackathons and the things I mentioned about blockchain and all in my resume. So this emphasizes that you will be a quick learner, and also you'll you'll be quick to deliver the task in time, because you're building a whole project in 2 days or so. So it can reflect that you can also mm, produce similar results in their organization also. So that really does help a lot in your interviews. So that is one thing. And also mm, it's all about the open source. You'll get to know how to use GitHub mostly. So I can talk about this one technology. So whenever we're talking about hackathons and open source, it's always going to Git. So GitHub is such a place where you push your code, review, merge, and all. So I never thought GitHub is as important. Now that I am working in an organization, so we daily need to push our code, clear, squash our commits, and also all these habits of maintaining pushing, committing, and doing regular code, code commits and all. So I have so these I had a prior experience at hackathons, and I I felt it like easier to onboard in my organization's technology as well. So the Git, like, it's a great tool. So it will be used in every organization where, so you'll have these perks having a prior knowledge of these things and all, even though if they're new to a company. So that is one thing. And the rest, like, maybe it depends on the domain and technology you will be working on. So I worked on blockchain, so I may go and explore different blockchain roles. And I have seen many of my fellow hackers in other hackathons. So they got direct offers from different blockchain companies, and they are working as they got converted, they are interned and got converted into full time. So you'll definitely get a lot more opportunities to work as a full time in different companies from different sponsors and all. And it's really best to at least go for a hackathon, even if you don't submit or make your project. You just interact with the sponsors and judges, so you'll definitely get an recommendations, or else even an interview calls directly if you go to a hackathon, definitely. So I'd like to share few resources. So Dayfolio, it's a Indian-based hackathon organizing website. So here you can find all the latest hackathons happening in India, like in different colleges. And mostly in Dayfolio, the hackathons will be of different universities and colleges, and very few of companies, like organizations. So there is another website called DevPost. So in this DevPost, you'll get all the details of international hackathons. So here you can find 10 plus hackathons happening at any point of time. And I have participated in a lot of hackathons through DevPost only. And it really, it's a good place to start with. So you can see many beginner, you can filter like a beginner level hackathons or else an advanced hackathon as well. So you'll have all those options in DevPost. And there is one more site called Gitcoin. So this is mostly uh, related towards blockchain based hackathons. So here the bounties will be huge, like in thousands of dollars, but the complexity of the problems will be also a bit challenging, because in Gitcoin you will be working on in a on real world projects, or else the projects that are already there. So it's a bit for advanced, and but not not closed for beginners. So there will be few hackathons for beginners, but it's mostly for advanced hackathons. And there is the last hacker. So many of you might have known it. So here you will be having coding challenges and also like project based hackathons. And of all this, I had mostly used DevPost. And DevPost is the go-to place to whenever you want to participate in a hackathon, because I participated in hackathons from University of UC Berkeley and UMKC and University of Massachusetts and all. So I've directly participated in hackathons of those universities virtually through DevPost. So that is a really helpful website to know about the hackathon. And yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn if you have any more questions, or else just connect with me if you want to participate in many more hackathons, or else I can tell you a guide, tell you if there are any new hackathons or else exciting ones happening at any given time. Yeah, so that's it. I'm open to questions.
Thanks a lot, Mohinish. That was really an interesting presentation given by you. So now I'd request all the students to post their questions in the Q&A, in the chat box. So Mohinish is here to answer all your questions. So meanwhile, any question pops up, I do have a question for you.
Yes.
So like usually hackathons involve a lot learning like new technologies and tools, right? So how do you approach like when you have really little time to know about new technologies and how you actually implement them?
So that's a good question. Like a new technology obviously cannot be like, you can't get thorough on it like within 24 hours or 48 hours, right? So you can mm, form a team where you can have a like, a much more experienced person in that technology. So but it always doesn't work, so at some point of time you have to learn it. So I would definitely recommend, like, first of all, go to the documentation of any technology, because documentation, like, the go-to place in order to know anything for any technology, let it be IML or else let it be blockchain. And do not stress on like the results whenever you are learning in the very, like, in the very next day. So you may or may not get your expected or desired results, but do not leave it. So you keep on, like, practicing or else working on it for next a couple of weeks, and I can tell, like, you can learn any technology within in like a couple of weeks if you are, like, really punctual with it. So if you, and coming to like implementing it in the same hackathon, I would definitely go to the documentation and, you know approaching my fellow hackers if they know about that technology. So you will get that immediate results, but in order to get, like, the long term results, you should definitely work on it, like, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have another question from Fazil Sheikh. He says, if we have zero knowledge on hackathons, so is it fine to join an hackathon?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Like any person, like any hacker, he must have started with no knowledge at one point of day, right? So even my case, I have participated in our very own college hackathon, Hackathons, back in 2019. It was in my first year, so I took only like 2 or 3 courses related to computer science, and I barely know anything. And I have, like, a like a theoretical knowledge of IBM Cloud, and I never used it per se. And it was so I built a chatbot. So it was like all a GUI made application. Like it did not involve coding, but you need to know how to use that tool. So for that, at that point of time, I read the documentation of that specific IBM service I'm using, and I built a product out of it. So you can try that, and I would, so at this point of time, so these days anyone can learn web development, right? So I would like recommend anyone to learn web development, either React or Angular of their choice. So because whenever you talk about AIML or else blockchain and all, so it still needs a front end, or else it still needs some kind of interface to showcase your solution. Let's say you are building a recommendation system, or else an like, an identifying system using AIML. It doesn't make any sense if you have that algorithm ready, but you can't showcase it like in visually. So you need to have that front end skills as well. And front end skills, it can be like, a good start for any student to start with. So that will be a good, really good starting point, even for the blockchain. So if you have a good knowledge on web development, you can directly jump into blockchain. So that will be, like, approach for
We
first
have
time.
another question from Farhana. So what is the best course to learn for participating in hackathons?
So there is no course to participate in hackathons, but technology to learn, technology to learn, right? So if you want to, like, start on building at hackathons, I would, as I told earlier, the web development would be my first choice. And if you're not really a technical person also, I would like, focus more on even UI UX. So UI UX is also a very big thing. So even though we have programmers who can build any website, they still need some assets like images and all, or else videos and all to integrate as per the design they have they have proposed, or else something like that. So I would say web development, React these days. So you can start with it, or else uh, UI UX development for front end, like to make those image assets and all. So, or else even the video editing. So that would be also a huge asset for your project. So web development would be my first choice.
Thank you for answering the question. So I would like to ask another question to you. So have you ever faced any situation like where you had to, like where your initial idea of the project had to be changed in the mid of hackathon, or else at the like probably in the duration of the hackathon you had to have a quick change in the entire idea, and if so, like how did you handle such situations?
Yeah. So there was one instance where there was in one hackathon. So it was focused mostly on AIML at that hackathon. But at that point of time, I have very little knowledge of AIML. So I have decided to work on a project where it does not involve any AIML, but it involves more of web development. And I have used an API where it does all the work of AIML directly, and I can simply print out the desired results for my solution. But what happened is in the middle of the hackathon, I my credits for that specific API got exhausted, so I can't really use that API anymore. So, but my solution requires that API for sure. And at that point of time, I was in literally in the middle of the hackathon, so I can't go back. But also, I can't start from scratch on a new idea, right? So I have used whatever front end I had, and I had a somewhat almost similar algorithm, but it's not it doesn't work as good as an API. So I just improvised the solution whatever I had, and even though it did not produce the completely desired output, but still I managed to get some basic get the app working at least, instead of ditching it completely. So you should never I would recommend never leave your work unfinished. Like whatever you do, just finish it or somehow, or else uh, make it visually appearing, and just present it to judges. So even though your app might not work, at least they'll hear to your solution or else your approach. So that might excite them maybe. So that would really make at least your efforts meaningful. So you should never leave your project in middle. So at least finish it somehow, present it at least. Like people should hear whatever you did, right? Or else
Yeah.
what's the point of all the hard work you did for the past 24 hours?
So like how do you make sure that you always stay updated with the latest technologies and trends that are related to hackathons and all?
So as I told, I usually follow dev posts. So there I get to explore many different hackathons. So the thing is regarding latest technologies. So I can tell you this one what can I say observation I have made. So any new technology or else any new trending or else any new trend, they kind of like you know publicize more. So back in 2020 and 2021, blockchain was very new thing I can say, or else it's just booming at that time. So at that point of time, there were many sponsors offering great prizes and bounties for solutions that you build on their technologies and all. So that is how I got into blockchain and all, because the bounties were huge. I can win more if I work on those, right? So so whoever is offering, more bounties at that point of time, so I can definitely tell that is like, the trending technology. So if you tell like these days, chat GPT days, or else the language models these days. So now you can see like more bounties are offered in that domain. So that's one like sign where you can see, say this is the latest technology. So obviously when you have a good bounty, you'll definitely like try to build on that for that project, right? So because why build on another thing where you can earn less or else? So and regarding how to get updated and all, so I would just say like if you want to learn, you can learn, like, but if there is a goal like to win that hackathon or else to submit this project by 24 or 48 hours, you'll definitely learn more than you'll learn in like normally, right? So if there is like a deadline or else a goal that you want to achieve, let's say in hackathons, it will be a very short span. So you'll work more on that. So you'll like, I can say learn 5x faster than normally what you could, because that was the case with me. So whatever I can learn in a week or 10 days, I can like, build the same thing within 1 or 2 days at a hackathon. So like just go out there and participate and participate and participate. Like then you'll get to know all the different things and you'll be a quick learner.
That's an amazing observation. And like, how do you ensure that you like balance your speed and also the quality of the project, like when you're developing in a very limited time during a hackathon?
So the quality of your project, hmm, so it depends on like, so we cannot make sure our project is, completely flawless or else, end-to-end build at any single hackathon. So in all the hackathons I have participated, I can remember only like 30 to 40% of the end products are what I desired to be, and more than 50% like they are not like as what I have imagined them to be. But because every time you can't like build it in time or else build as you thought in the beginning, because there can be uh, challenges of time shortage or else there can be challenges with the technology. So initially you may think this technology can work, you can build that function in your code, but as you go you can like think, okay, this may not be possible and all, right? Because there will be definitely things like that. And for in those cases, as I told, like go through the documentation first, because that is where you will have the like end-to-end description about that technology. So if not, you can always reach out to fellow hackers or else mentors in that hackathon, because they'll definitely have a little more knowledge than you, being a new person in that technology. So they can help, and also at the end of the day, like you should like you should be motivated to finish that task or else like to somehow submit that instead of like leaving it in the middle. So yeah, that's all.
So, and like, how did SRMAP like played a role in your life to like give you the encouragement to participate in hackathons, and like how did it guide you?
So I was like, in college for only 1.5 year or so, because like the last 2 years, like I've been attending class all virtually due to COVID and all. But the first hackathon I have participated is the Hack SRM in our college. So it's an offline event. So and even though I had like uh, I like saw it in YouTube and all, like how hackathons happen and all, but I've never been part of one, right? So in the very first edition, like our university, like they have arranged for 24 hours. Like it was organized by Next Tech Lab members only. So they have made sure like we are motivated and hydrated toward the event. So they gave us food and all, and they have been like they made regular events like quizzes and uh, all sort of things like throughout the night, so that we don't sleep and all. And that was like it really like if you have that good first time experience at any event, you will have like you'll carry it out for it, for the rest of the events. So that I can say like it really like kept me interested and motivated to participate in more like events, right? And during COVID and all, like purely like I'm at home and I used to like attend classes in the daytime, and in the evening I just used to work on my projects, and at the end of the week I just uh, participated in hackathons and all. So and also my mentor like I have like I mean there's this course called UROP, undergraduate research opportunity, right? So in that UROP I got to like work on one blockchain project. So at that point of time, like I am like good at blockchain, but during this UROP my mentor gave me this problem statement of like waste management using blockchain. It's a huge that problem has a huge area where you can like implement it. And with that idea I went on and participated in many events, like 5+ hackathons, I guess, like different versions of the project at every hackathon. One has only blockchain, like one has a solution with blockchain and ML and all. So that kind of mentorship I got from my mentor, and the problem statement I got, like it really did help me in all those hackathons and all. And I definitely got like recognized by my mentor and all our HOD at that time for participating in all these events. And we were part of Next Tech Lab, right? So all my peers from blockchain club and all, so we used to be like connected all the time, and like just exchange what we're up to and which event we are part of and all those things. So that was my experience with our college, university, and the Next Tech Lab. So I can highlight the Next Tech Lab, like Next Tech Lab also like played a key role, because whenever I joined the Next Tech Lab, so like all my peers, they're all like more capable of technologies than me. Like they know more, like basically. So whenever like these two things happened at a time, like participating in Hack SRM and also being part of the Next Tech Lab, so it kind of like really motivated me to go more in that direction of open source and all.
That's really interesting to know. Now I would like to hand over the session to Divya ma'am from Alumni Relations for vote of thanks.
Thank you, Lasya. Thank you, Tej. On behalf of Directorate of Alumni Relations, would like to thank Mohinish Teja for sharing the tips and tricks on hackathon. Thank you, Tej, for spending your time, valuable time. And I thank Dr. Shravani Basu ma'am, faculty in charge of Alumni Relations, and Shailaja madam, Alumni Relation Core Committee, Lasya Mohan, Alumni Ambassador, ITKM Help Desk team, and all the students who have participated in the sessions. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Over to you, Lasya. You can end the session.
So once again, thank you, Monish, for enlightening us and reminding us like all the immense possibilities that lie within the world of hackathons. And we wish you success in all your future endeavors. And thank you, audience, for your participation and engagement throughout this event. So let's continue to explore, innovate, and make a positive impact in this world. So this calls an end for a wonderful evening. So thank you, everyone. And this is Lasya signing off.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah. Great.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, Teja. Actually, it was an insightful session, and hope your juniors actually learn something from it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.